Dear fellow truth seekers, thank you and welcome for visiting my channel, MythoReligio. MythoReligio is a video channel based on a book series with the same name about religious comparison studies between the stories in Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism and Buddhism, directly from their sacred books and world mythologies, hence the name MythoReligio. The purpose is to retrace the prehistory of humanity, since I'm not fully satisfied with either the explanations from the point of view of creationist nor evolutionist. There are so many missing links in both explanations. If you feel the same, then you are on the right channel. In this channel, I will also analyze about the prehistory of humanity from the archaeological records, modern scientific point of view, and other alternative theories such as the ancient alien theories and Atlantis or Lemuria legends. After thorough research of circa 30 years, I recognize many similarities between all religious stories and even mythologies, and surprisingly, some of them are in accordance or even beyond modern science that have been proven as correct. Thus, I came to the conclusion that all religions must have come from the same source. And all these religious stories and mythologies, although heavily jumbled up, are actually telling one mega story, the true prehistory of our common ancestors. This mega story is quite different than what we have been told to believe and will truly blow your mind, as it is more fascinating than our imagination. If you have watched the earlier videos in this channel, I believe you can see some of the similarities too. If you haven't and you truly want to do a religious comparative study, I suggest that you do so. The best way to do a comprehensive religious study via this channel is by watching the videos starting from number 1 and continue until this present video and so on. That way you will see a clear pattern. In this channel, I will share almost all that I have written in my book series. However, there is one book so far that I cannot share in this channel due to its sensitive, shocking and dark nature, and also might be considered controversial to some, but I believe it sheds more light to the above conclusion. If you want to read this around 500 pages ebook with many full-color illustrations, you are more than welcome to download book number 5 entitled History of the Dark Side, that is available for free in ebook format that can be found in my website www.mythoreligio.com. You only have to give your email address and it will be sent to you directly. And no, I won't share your email address nor send any advertisement. The link is in the description box. If you want to get the physical book, kindly go to amazon.com. Now let's continue with this week's video. Video number 79 from MythoReligio series book 4. Mysterious Ancient Megalithic Constructions Part 2. Dear fellow truth seekers, in my previous videos I have shared with you some out-of-place artifacts that have been found by archaeologists that are simply too advanced to have been made by our primitive ancestors. Besides the abundance of unexplainable out-of-place artifacts, there are also many enigmatic ancient megalithic constructions in the world. And until today, it remains a mystery as to how did our supposedly primitive ancestors build them. Last week, I have shared with you the mysterious megalithic construction in Europe. That is the Stonehenge in England and another very similar one in Malta. Now we will continue with another megalithic construction in another part of the world, that is in the Middle East. Baalbek. Baalbek is a town in Bekaa Valley of Lebanon. In Roman times it was known as Heliopolis or City of the Sun. It contains the largest and most noble Roman temples ever built. The Temple of Baal Jupiter, a hybrid between the ancient Canaanite god Baal and the Roman Jupiter, which was built in the last quarter of the 1st century BCE for over a period of 2 centuries. This temple was built on the ruined mound. Now the questions are, what was the original edifice below the Roman temple? Who built it and how old is it? The following information is extracted from an article entitled Baalbek, a Colossal Enigma by Gyan J. Quasar. This temple was clearly built by the Romans. However, they actually followed the pattern of building upon the sacred areas of cultures before them. This is also evident at Palmyra, where the temple of Baal is also built upon a tell or ruined mound. The original Canaanite temples could be 2,000 years older than the Roman remains left today. It is most likely that the Canaanites too built on top of another older construction. Because the oldest part of the ruins at Baalbek fit absolutely no known culture and were originally employed for some mysterious purpose. The most amazing thing about this temple is the gigantic size of the stone blocks that are used to build it. These gigantic stone blocks are located at the bottom of the temple, whereas the smaller stones of the Roman temple are positioned on top of them. You can see on the following picture the different sizes of the stone blocks. In the red circle is a man standing in front of the wall. Look at how small he is in comparison to the lower stone block. The man is inside the red circle. The massive and elegant Roman stonework and columns pale by comparison to the megalith they were built upon. The temple visibly incorporates into its foundation stone of some 1,500 tons, some estimated up to 2,000 tons. They are some 68 times 14 times 14 feet. They are the largest work stones on Earth. It is a mystery how such stones could have been moved into place even according to our science and engineering knowledge of today. It is also a fact that the Romans did not use this type of stonework. The following is a picture of one undressed stone left in the quarry. Look at its perfect rectangles and its size. To further increase their mysterious origin and original use, these megaliths are not foundation stones as they were always declared. They represent the top course of stones of the original edifice, whatever they may have been. Whatever its purpose, it was essential that the greatest stones had to be on top, not on the bottom. The whole edifice is inverted in concept, fact, and layout. Below them, at least 3 tiers of stones can be found, much smaller, though still monumental in size. Another proof that they are separate from the Roman temple is that while the Romans built the back of their temple wall flush with 3 of these stones, one of the sides of the temple of Jupiter, the perimeter clearly falls short with the width of the original megalithic structure, allowing a tier of megalith to protrude obtrusively from the temple foundation. Incongruous if they were simply foundation stones for the Roman temple. But it seems the Romans could not extend the building far enough to cover the layout of the megalith. Another mystery is found in the stone wall on the far or back side of the temple. That side that is the most famous in pictures because it shows the remarkable proportion of the megalith in contrast to other stones around them. The great stones continue on this side as well, though their substructures are still buried. The Roman temple falls far short of these blocks, another indication they are not designed for the temple but predate it considerably. This wall is made up of many ill-fitted stones, many of them reused from the ruined Roman temple by the Arabs, Crusaders, and Turks when the ruins were used as a fort. Some pieces of the Roman entablature can be seen, as well as slits cut into the rock for firing positions in the wall. Because all these stones are piled one upon the other, it is clear to see an evolution of stone working. This reveals some of the stones piled upon the megalith to be even older than Rome. These are also huge stones. Yet, despite their size, they are still dwarfed by the megalithic blocks. The next picture shows the famous backside of the temple. The stones of the ruined Roman temple were piled up to form a wall. There is even a column base, but see the huge stones next to the break in the wall. They are as big as the bimini stones and cut flush with the other rather than neat squares. The architecture, Cyclopean, is the oldest we know of, yet it appears sloppy and small compared to the great megalith below them. The Cyclopean stones are certainly not Roman. The square-cut Roman stones are heaped on top of them by the Arabs or Crusaders, whoever turned the ruins into a medieval fortress. Look at how small the two men are compared to the Cyclopean stonework, let alone the megalith upon which they are built. Excavating deeper, the other great mystery was found. Perfectly cut, though smaller, stones were found. The megalith were not designed as the foundation of the original building, but were meant to be the top. Why? What for? The stones of the Roman temple can be seen built behind on top of them. This evolution in the stonework is remarkable. From the small Roman and Turkish blocks we go further down to monumental blocks identical with our earliest cultures. Yet lower than this, we come not to primitive mud bricks or shanty hut foundations, but to the greatest stones worked by men. They are not clumsy artifacts, crude and compromised cuts like Stonehenge. They are perfectly fitted 1,500-ton stones forming a foundation not even a huge Roman temple could encompass. And our own science and engineer today cannot explain them, let alone tell what their function was. It would seem some unknown culture could have moved these great stones, placed them on top of others, in perfect fit and alignment before the dawn of our most ancient cultures. What caused them to pass away without leaving a clue as to who they were and to what purpose they built such a stupefying platform? So, back to the question, what edifice was it before? We don't know. We also do not know how old and who built it. There are no historical records, although the local folk thinks it is a pre-flood city originally built by Cain, son of Adam, after his banishment. The truth is, we have no idea who built this construction, why, how, and when. There are many more of such megalithic constructions around the world, and I will continue sharing them in my next videos. For now, allow me to thank you for watching and hope to see you next week.